Lydia Bousfield Trio, welcome to the NA podcast.
I have a question
HQ.
off the bat. Isaac, how do you feel that her name's in the band title and yours isn't?
Oh well.
Let's open up some wounds off the bat.
Well, it was her idea.
Oh well, that makes sense. Yeah.
And then it was like, oh, it's gonna be the Bousfield Trio, and she was like, no, we're not changing it now. It's the Lydia Bousfield.
Because you've done Glastonbury so many times.
Yeah.
No one can ever learn a new name for you.
We did a couple of like gigs and open mics with it, Lydia Bousfield Trio, and it sort of just stuck. And I was like, do I get a say? And he's like, no, it's my band. So I'm like the secretary of it all. I sort out stuff.
You do all the important
stuff.
Yeah.
I like messaging you and everything.
He's the secretary of our band.
And then she just takes the rap.
I'm like, I'm Team Lydia now.
Yeah.
So I don't think
it's
always fair.
Been Lydia Bousfield Trio, or because I've only ever seen it before I saw you at the final whistle. I've only ever seen you two.
Yeah, well, that was when we started off. It was just like getting experience, wasn't it? It was just like going out and gigging with guitar and singing. Because it started because we did in Kaywood where we live. They do a Kaywood Stock Music Festival every year. And we know people who are dealing with that. Sorry, do you need that? No. All right. So we knew people who were actually dealing with that, and they knew that Lydia sang. So they just said, "Does Lydia fancy doing a bit?" So then we kind of thought, "Oh yes, you can sing a few. So I'll play guitar along with you." And then we started doing them, and the songs were going okay. So then we said to Isaac, "Right, play trombone and play and you can learn bass guitar."
Yeah.
So I gave him one of my bass guitars and just said, "Right, here you go and learn that." And then we actually got my sister in who plays viola, and we did just like covers of Sting and different things like that. And she enjoyed it that much, because what were you, about 13 then or something? So
I think I was 12.
Were you 12 or 13? So she enjoyed it that much that then she just wanted to carry on. So then it was just like me and her going out and doing a bit, and then because Isaac was away at school, and then when he came home, then it's been like just as a trio going out.
Because I first saw you at the Doghouse. I think it was just you two.
Yeah.
And it was just like, I really loved the way you did the covers.
Yeah.
Because they're not like you see some cover bands that they just sound very, very the same.
Yeah, you got to make it yourself.
And you've got to make it your own. Yeah. And that's. Yeah, and then as soon as we found out that you did originals, we were just like,
That was in the final whistle, wasn't it?
It was. That was in the final whistle.
We were playing, it was like, oh, what do you want to hear next? And it was just you saying, originals!
Yeah. We did have time, we did a gig at Hull for a band called Ramble Gamble, who are playing with you guys on centre stage in March, and we did a gig with them, and it was what are they called?
Moonmoth music.
And they were playing a few covers, and it was like she sang and played sax.
Oh yeah.
And he played guitar, and they were awesome. And but they kind of started doing a few of their own songs. And me and Dodgy, as soon as we hear people do their own songs, right, I'm just going to badger them.
Yeah.
So we're going to do a cover. Me like, boo, and they did it. To be fair, they just kept
their originals went down a lot better than
the covers.
Again, it depends where you are.
Yeah. A lot of people just need sometimes the encouragement to do original music, because it can be scary. It's not as easy as just like, oh, this is a song that someone else wrote, because if it's your own song, it's kind of like, heart and zips, there you go.
So let's take it right back.
So the concrete streets, original beats.
So obviously you guys would have been kind of born into the musical family anyway, I presume.
Yeah.
So like earliest memories of music from all.
A better question would be, did you have any choice?
Yes.
I would say.
He sounds under duress.
So I want to get in the car on the way home, because I don't want to be walking home. Yeah.
Sorry.
Andy,
I would say I definitely chose to do it. I'd say Isaac did as well.
Yeah.
I was only joking. I don't think you actually were forced into it.
But he just needs a bit of encouragement sometimes.
Okay.
So
pick up the
earliest memories of music? Like, was it something that your dad played, or something that you know?
My earliest memories of music, I'm trying to think.
All time in the world.
Before I got into the really Lydia Bousfield Trio kind of stuff, I still do, but I sing opera.
Yeah.
So it's probably
never been out to tell.
Yeah. Shocker.
It's probably
spoiler
classical memories. First time I performed probably singing opera was there's these concerts that go on, well, kind of like more competitions, and they're in the Harrogate and Rothwell area.
I know of them.
Yeah, so probably just enter them. But I also play trombone, in case you didn't know. Yeah.
Another
No.
trombone?
Yeah. Not quite as good as Isaac.
Hey,
I
no,
thought-
no,
I thought-
no,
not quite as good as you.
none of this,
He's actually quite like that.
Yeah.
Well, studied it for 4 years, but you'd be surprised.
Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Some competition in this. I like
Yeah,
it.
no, there is.
rivalry.
Yeah. There's from basically since we're born, because it's always music around the house.
Mm.
That's how actually Mum and Dad met. He was
Yeah, be careful how you phrase it.
yeah. He was her teacher,
Oh, all right.
but
But-
after uni, like
So it was,
I don't
it was
know.
adult education course.
Yeah.
So I
Also
met
sounds
Jules 'cause
under duress.
Yeah.
I was teaching. Yeah, be really careful
Yeah.
before I.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I was teaching an adult education
Yeah,
course, and she was just somebody on the adult education
Yeah.
course.
Shout out to Mrs. Bousfield.
Yeah, there you go. So, but it's always been in the house because I've got instruments lying around and stuff like that.
Yeah,
So we've
Yeah,
got
sure.
pictures of. I mean, I used to have a picture in my violin case of Lydia when she's about 18 months with a really small violin,
Aw,
just trying to
cute.
play it. And there's pictures of Isaac with the cello because I'm a violinist first. It was kind of there was more stringed instruments around the house, so it was like, oh, get the kids on this, get the kids on that. And he had violin, then it was cello, then it was guitar. He even had lessons with me at his school with guitar lessons, and then cornet. There's a concept in playing a cornet, but he always wanted to play the trombone, so we just got onto the trombone. So they kind of learn music because it's all around you, and you get involved with it, and it's something that you do. The only thing that I'm a bit of a stickler with, and that's probably because I'm a teacher, is that if you do something, you've got to do it regularly. So, and that's where there's probably you have to kind of
The interesting I always find because I teach people guitar and singing and stuff, and mainly how to sing songs, but it's interesting the lies people go to pretend like they've practiced. I'm like, I can tell. Like, I do this for a living. Like, if you haven't improved, it's not my fault. It's because you haven't practiced. Like, who did? I was like, how long for? Like, a minute? Well done. In a week.
I suppose when kids are a bit younger, the attention span is a lot less.
Yeah,
so it's like, you sit down and practice that thing for 4 hours. After about 5 minutes, it's like, right, I'm bored, I want to do something else now. Yeah.
It's finding things, though. I mean, when you're teaching, it's finding things that make the kids interested in wanting to do it.
Yeah.
So, like with because I do some electric guitar teaching for secondary school kids, and with those, even though you're working at technical stuff and you're working at all these different things that you want them to learn, if you can tie it into what they listen to, they'll go away and do it. So that's the thing really with teaching, is finding something that the kids want to do, and tie it into the things that they have to learn.
I always ask people what songs they want to learn. It's like, you've got to do stuff you're interested in, otherwise you're just not going to learn it. So like, I never got into like scales or grades or anything like that. I just didn't care. All I wanted to do was sing songs. That's the same way that like you guys, we grew up around instruments and stuff. I didn't really grow up around that many instruments, although I played trumpet and bugle and stuff like that in marching bands, and I did play a bit of violin at school, but like my memory was like my mum singing songs in the car on holidays. So I enjoyed singing harmonies and songs because that's what was around. Like people were always singing. My gramps was always singing around jazz stuff, and so I was always getting sung around. So that's just what I picked up. Like,
it is a lot of it is your influence. Your influence from what's going on around you.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And then you have to kind of go, okay, this is something you want to do, so now do it properly. Because there's loads of times where you can see that people are naturally musical and they do things, but they haven't taken the time to. Hard work's not really the word that I'm looking for, but they haven't taken the time to learn their trade properly. So they haven't gone, okay, so these are chords. How do you build a chord? What's the harmonic structure here? How can you do this? Because once you understand that, then you can change it, and suddenly the whole thing opens up for you. And that's sometimes a hard thing for people to get the hang of, is kind of going, well, I can do this, and therefore that's good enough, where it's like, understand everything that you're doing, understand how chords are built, how scales are built, how modes work. Once you get all that, it just opens it up, and anything is then possible. And that's
have you guys like mastered all those instruments that you played, or have you kind of like stopped and moved on? Or
well, with trombone, I'm grade 5.
Yeah, but you kind of stopped really.
Stopped.
Yeah. She got grade 5 when she was at primary school. She got grade 5.
Anything else?
Singing grades 5, but doing grade 8. We're learning towards grade 8.
Okay.
I've not done it. Well, I'm a first classical trombonist first, so I've got grade 8 when I was 12, 13. So that's that's the only instrument that I've done a grade on. I can play. I play bass, not to like a good standard, but I've never done grades on.
Me neither, mate. I've got grade 1 violin, so I passed by 2 marks when I was 9, so I'm taking it.
Yeah.
It's my only graded instrument. You know?
Yeah.
So do you have any influences? You just mentioned on influences there.
Yeah.
Can have so many influences.
Yeah.
So do you have anybody in particular? Do you listen to any bands? What can you remember from the early days? Just generally, what do you kind of listen to?
We have every CD possible in the house. We've got in his office behind. He has his computer there, and if you look from the computer, there's a whole wall, like I won't say like half the size of this thing, just 5,000, 6,000 CDs of literally everything, going from Mozart to
Black Coffee.
Black Coffee, yeah.
I like a bit of variation.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, very much.
Yeah.
So do you often find yourselves going in there and going, what do I want to listen to?
They're not going to
today?
listen to CDs.
No?
do
Well,
they?
they don't.
Yeah, probably.
But sometimes I'll go in there, you see, and I'll put something on, and then if they like it, they'll come and see what it is.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
have
sure,
a listen, and then they might go away and
Mm.
stick it on their phone through a
Spotify.
speaker or whatever.
I think even regardless, it's wondrous. My gramps used to have like a massive jazz collection of tapes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And even when like CDs came out, he was like rebuying them. It was always still, and like CDs were a thing when I was a kid. You know, it was still like kind of wondrous to go. It's like a treasure trove, you know, of just like, all these old tapes. So even though he had some CDs and like CDs were the used thing, it was still kind of to have all those tapes laid out. It's kind of like wow. So it must have the same. You guys must have the same thing with that many CDs.
Do you know what vinyl is?
Yeah, I have a
I've
record
got quite
player.
a lot of that as well.
Yeah,
I started
excellent.
collecting vinyl when I was, oh my word, about 14, 15, because there was I was in Manchester, and there was a record shop in Manchester that used to get all the old deleted vinyls and stuff in and stuff, and I used to go in there and spend ages going through boxes buying that.
Did they have like the little listening booths as well?
I
people
never went in those because
We'll get a word in a minute.
So
It's all about them. It's all about the kids.
So I started collecting vinyl then. So I've got loads of really old vinyl and stuff like that. So
nice healthy collection then.
Yeah, I'd say overall my influences come from like many different genres,
Yeah.
but I would say that on the whole, my influences, like, they're not really alive anymore.
That's all right.
Alright, that's fine.
Like,
They
they're-
don't have to.
It's okay.
they're
You
all-
don't have to be alive.
The only thing that I don't listen to is probably music that's in the charts today.
Do you know how many people say that to me? Like, young or old is obscene. I'm like, who just listened to this shit? Because everyone's like, I don't listen to it. I'm like, but isn't like the mainstream what people are meant to listen to? But I know one does.
Yeah.
And I don't understand how it's so popular.
Yeah, well, I think we totally agree. The mainstream is pretty rubbish,
pretty
and it has
shocking.
been
Yeah.
for quite a few years.
There's not really much variation at all,
Maybe
is
the odd
there?
one that just comes
Yeah.
through
There's
now
never
and
bad
again, but
people. It's just they don't promote the right shit, you know.
No, there's just so much out there at the moment.
I still listen to not a lot. I've got, I still listen to some in the charts, but you're just getting it's the same thing, just churned out in bulk, and it's just like even though the genres changes what's popular, like it'd be like EDM a few years ago, and now it's like more like close romantic, not romantic, like soul piano music.
How is it?
That's in now.
Didn't even know that.
And it's like, and it's just like, it's the same. It's like once a genre changes, there's 50, 60 songs released in
Ready to
a month
go.
that's same, that sound exactly the same. And it's just, it's really monotonous sometimes.
There's no soul. There's no like it doesn't feel personal. It doesn't feel like someone's writing a song. It feels like someone's like covering another song slightly differently.
Yeah, it's like there's no expression to it.
Yeah, exactly. There's no expression to it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Have you heard of Radio 6?
I have heard of it, yeah.
So that's my favourite station. That doesn't play what's in the charts. It just plays kind of like more independent sort of stuff. It has Steve Lamacq on there. He used to be on Radio 1 years and years ago.
Back in
Back in the day.
When it first started.
When my shoulder was alright.
Who of your speaking of back in the day, which dead people are you influenced by?
I'll just rattle them off.
Yeah, you go on, go for it.
I like Glenn Campbell.
Great show.
Lovely.
Yeah,
Country and
Glenn
Western. I love Burt Bacharach, but sadly, only recently passed away.
I only know really what. When
you find
did it on. I didn't only find out
Austin
Powers.
Powers.
Yeah, that's how I found out about Burt Bacharach.
Amy Winehouse. I love her.
Yeah, I could tell.
Yeah. All jazz singers on a whole. Billie Holiday, Ella Fitzgerald. Have you ever heard of someone called Timmy Euro?
No.
No.
I know her name, but I don't know.
I would say she is, on the whole, my favourite singer.
What's her name?
Timmy Euro.
Timmy Euro.
Yeah.
Timmy Euro. That will get something across the screen on the podcast.
Yeah.
It's not spelt like the currency. It's spelt.
It's just a
Last
really
name.
weird spelling.
Last name is Yuro.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
She's really good.
Check her out.
Very powerful voice.
Yeah, I'll have to check
Old.
her out. I've not...
Yeah,
Old school.
yeah.
Or like, yeah, amazing, nice. Yeah, I like. Do you like Nina Simone?
Oh yeah.
I love all that stuff. I'm really into. Like,
Yeah.
that
So
era
just to
of music.
clarify for the listeners of the podcast, Lydia's influences are basically dead people.
Yeah.
Yeah, the dead people are the best.
Well,
Just in general.
Yeah, in general, yeah.
Just better. Don't know why. Can't talk. Yeah, no. I love all that old stuff. I'm really into it. Like, do you know the game Fallout?
No.
I've heard of it. I don't really.
It's like a.
I don't
it's
think
like a,
these guys are gamers in
I
a house.
I
full of
used
musical instruments.
to. That's what I used to be, but
They
not
might
really.
be.
I ain't got any time
anyway,
anymore.
there's a game called Fallout. It's like a survival game, but it's like after the atom bomb's fallen, but like all they've got is like old records, and it's all like Nina Simone and Ella Fitzgerald. Even it's just all like Ella Fitzgerald and all that stuff, and it's amazing. It's just mint. And what are they called? He's saying, "I don't want to set the world on fire."
Oh.
I can't remember what they're called.
Oh, you've lost me.
But it's all that old stuff, like kind of like 40s, 50s stuff. And I just love it. It's so good.
Yeah.
How did you get from doing opera into doing the stuff you do now?
God, I don't know really. I guess I'm not sure. I guess it's just when you grow up and go through different ages, you listen to different kind of stuff.
Oh yeah.
I think it was just like because you started doing open mics because you still did opera.
Yeah, no, but I was doing kind of stuff before the open mics.
Yeah. No, it was just like because more and more people were listening and doing the stuff that you do now, like covers and stuff. So you started hearing more people do it. So you started changing, and then you, when you started doing piano more, you started doing all like the old.
Yeah. But what I think it was I remember one time I was gifted for Christmas this record player, this lovely red record player. And I was still heavily doing opera at that time. Well, I still do opera, but heavily at that time.
I hope so, because your singing teacher might hear this.
Yeah.
Anyone.
And
She
then
practices. She practices.
I think I remember I went downstairs and you had all those records laid out on the floor. Do you remember your outside shed with like loads of records? And I probably took a couple of them, went upstairs, flicked them on, and just listened to them. Yeah. What I sometimes do is I flick them on my radio player when I'm about to go to sleep, and then I fall asleep listening to them.
Yeah, that's the way to say it. That's the way I listen to music.
I love listening to music to fall asleep. Trust me, enjoy it while you can, because it doesn't go like that when you get older.
Yeah.
You're just like, God, I can't do it. Do you ever find when you're listening to stuff when you're going to sleep that you just like the music that much that you just go, I'm just going to stay awake for this next song.
Yeah.
And then you go, I'm just going to stay awake for this next song. God, this is really good. I'm just going to stay awake for a bit longer.
And then it gets to 3 a.m.
Yeah, and then you're just like,
I've got
the album's
school
finished. I better go to sleep now.
Like, I've got school in 3 hours.
Yeah, like binge listening to stuff. Yeah, I used to do it all the time. Like when I used to listen to like Steve Lamacq and stuff, and used to do that like at bedtime. Mint, that's the best.
I should just stick headphones in, listen to like album. I was a 90s kid, me. I was kind of like the Brit poppy sort of era, and I used to love just going to bed with the headphones on. So I can totally relate to that.
So then, because you've got like a very you can tell you've got like some operatic training by the way you sing these songs. So have you found like switching between like opera and kind of more like modern stuff?
I don't know. I haven't found it like a massive switch. Yeah. Because I still do both of those genre kind of things.
You just have because your technique, you can tell, like it's like trained, but like
Yeah.
obviously it's different, like in terms of projection, how you're like projecting your voice and stuff.
Yeah, it is. I like the fact that I have done opera before. I've kind of moved on to this kind of stuff because I don't know, it makes my voice different. Yeah, bigger, but different. It's not like a pastiche to everyone else.
Yeah, that's one of the great things about it. Is like it was instantly like, open mic, like
and that's how I want to make people react.
Yeah, you should. Yeah, it's great. Like we both of us just laugh. It would just open. We just go very rarely to open mics when we do. Like listen out for people who are different, because we've heard most of the people do, or a lot of people do the same kind of stuff, so they sound the same anyway. So you can just tell. But like sometimes you get someone stick out, like you're like, oh, like that. That's different.
Yeah, you're just like, what's that? I know
makes
this
you
song,
listen,
and then you hear a particular line or a lyric, and you go, well, I never,
Yeah.
And that's what I like about.
That's your.
Is that mine? Thanks.
Yeah, no, it did. It was really like, oh wow, that's amazing. Like it was really cool. And obviously we've heard you sing more since.
Yeah.
Now we're hearing you do originals as well, which we're very happy about.
Yeah, and then when we saw it with the bass and the trumpet as well at the same time, I just
Trombone.
Sorry.
Fucking up,
But no, when you were just flipping between the two, I thought it was quite slick actually. It was really good.
Yeah. There's been many times where it's nearly a drop moment. Yeah. In fact, no, I think it was like a year ago. And it was just in a practice, he wasn't on stage, thankfully. And I've got a trombone stand actually with me now. And I thought I put my trombone on, and I went to get my bass, and my trombone just went bang. I missed the trombone stand. It was just like, oh no.
But you can tell from my guitar, it's had similar incidents.
Yeah.
Don't use a trombone stand for it. Then.
Poor Guinevere.
I'm just trying to think of the questions. So we have sort of set questions that we generally ask. I don't know if you've checked out any of them.
Yeah, we've been researching.
You've been doing your homework.
Everyone does, because everyone's like, shit, I'm on it. I better get prepared. I can't remember what we generally. It doesn't matter. We'll just make stuff up.
That's
we very rarely keep to the script.
Go off on it. Yeah, you just let things go off on a tangent.
Oh, I know what we can go to. It doesn't matter what are we doing, but like, because you've been talking about open mics and stuff. Have you got like any like gigs that stand out as particularly notable as of yet? I know obviously as you've been doing open mic stuff mainly, you probably won't have any like massive ones yet. But like, doesn't have to be like as the trio, like individually. If you've done any concerts or anything, like any of the festivals that you've been part of,
just something memorable.
Like you've probably got years of doing it. You must have a memorable gig of the years of playing.
Yeah, I've got loads, but you two talk about
I've done loads with. He said he wasn't going to talk during this.
I told him off too many times. Now. He's like,
I'm
better shut up.
I'm being the child of the group.
Yeah. He's in a naughty corner. Yeah.
Yeah, I've done so many gigs with my trombone playing. Yeah.
Where were you yesterday?
I was in Durham yesterday with a brass band.
Did you play like swing bands or like more traditional stuff? Or...
At the moment, at this point, I do the trio and brass band.
Brass band.
Shepherd's Group Brass Band.
Who?
Shepherd's Group Brass Band.
Shout out Shepherd's what?
Group Brass Band.
Why are they called group? That's really
confusing.
Shepherd's Group Brass Band.
So we'll try and get something across the bottom of the screen.
Yeah. Because it's the Shepherds, which I think were builders. Shepherd's Group Brass Band. It's based at Portakabin.
I don't see the need for group and band in the same title.
Because there's
the Shepherd Group is the builders.
Yeah, it's called.
I understand. I'm just saying. What was confusing me was the fact they had group and band in the same title. I was like, what? Yeah. Cool. So, how long are you doing that for?
I've actually played with the brass band since 2016, 2015.
When you were about 12.
I was in the youth band.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So, and then I went to school over in Manchester, and then I came back this year, and they asked me to come back and play because we were in Durham yesterday for the areas, which is like a competitions all around the country for brass bands. We didn't win, but we came sixth, which we've come now 5 years in a row. Oh, so consistency is key.
Better scores.
I don't know. So I won last year. It was good. It's a little bit annoying because the band's apparently getting a lot better, but still sixth place.
I sang barbershop for many years. Back when I was like guess, kind of from your age for about 6-7 years, and we did all sorts of competitions, festivals, like, you know, singing festivals. We used to go to that and these kind of things and stuff. But like, you know, it's always really like when we did the big festivals. I was lucky enough to be in a very good one for this country, and we ended up winning. But and going to America. But like prior to that, when I came, we weren't as good, and it was sort of I think we came 6th and 5th and 6th for a bit. And you're like, but you feel like you're getting better, and you get the scores. God, just 16th place. So yeah, I know the pain of competing. It's not nice. Like, you know, luckily I was in a good one, but yeah. So how many people do you turn up to watch these things?
What do you mean, the thing yesterday?
Well, any of them, but yeah, like yesterday. It was in the Gala Theatre in Durham, so that's it's just that. I don't know it.
So it was about 98% full, 8% full. You got the adjudicators, and you got like other bandsmen from different bands, and also got general and the public, like these two, and my mum and my granddad and nana came to watch as well, but there was family members from other.
Sure.
It wasn't, but it's good. But going back to what I was on about the concerts, when did I do Harrogate?
Symphony.
You
played a solo with Harrogate Symphony Orchestra when you were about 14, and you played with that
Symphony
concert.
Orchestra. Wow.
Well, you played with at the the Opera House in York, and that was pretty much full. You did a solo there.
That's one around near the Minster, isn't it? The Opera House, is it?
No, that's the theatre.
That's the theatre.
So the Opera House is nearer Clifford's
where the
Tower.
fire station. Yeah. It's that one there. Yeah. So you played there, and that was packed. And you played with that brass band and Black Dyke as well, and then you had a solo as well to do on stage, which is pretty good.
Yeah.
So he's kind of used to it. It's been. I mean, you played at the Albert Hall when you were younger with National Children's Orchestra and stuff like that. So
amazing! What an unbelievable venue that place is.
He's joined the podcast again.
Hello, cat.
So what did that feel like playing?
That's the just meanest fucking stroke I've ever seen in my life. You absolute animal. He's just like.
I thought he was going to pick him up by the tail.
I thought you were going to hit him. Jesus Christ.
So what did that feel like when you played with the symphonic orchestra? Symphony orchestra.
That was amazing. That was actually because I won a competition, doing other people doing solos, and it was like whoever wins that gets to play the solo with the orchestra. And when I won it, I just remember walking down the stage going, "Oh my god, this is happening." Because he was always saying, "Oh, I've done it younger than you. I was playing younger." So get it when I was 14. What were you, 18, 19 when you did it?
You didn't just beat him. You somehow smashed it.
That's the thing. I've got to be better than him and everything. Like he got his diploma when he was 40, 45.
Oh yeah, I did that late, didn't I?
I was gonna say you got a fair amount of time. To be fair,
a few years. But
he's giving you a bit of an easy one there. Like, that's not quite as. But how do you find like competition stage to like open mic stage, or like doing more like kind of popular music type stuff, you know? Because I find it a completely different buzz entirely. Like it's a completely different thing.
It sounds weird, but I get more nervous when we do a gig with the trio.
It's way scarier. Yeah.
When I did my
safety in numbers, right?
Yeah. When I did my solo with Shepherd's Group
at the Opera House.
At the Opera House. I was about to say Opera House. I was nervous before it, but when I was playing, I was like, "Oh, it's fine. I can do this." But when I'm doing a solo with the trio, when I'm playing, I'm like, I don't want to mess up because that's my sister, and I know I'll get a bollocking when I'm finished if I mess it up.
Oh, it's not because you want to like make her proud. It's because you know you get a bollocking. Yeah. How about you? Do you find like opera singing scarier, or like do you not really give a shit either way?
I'd say I find doing the Lydia Bousfield Trio stuff more scary.
Yeah.
Well, it's my name on the band, so if I mess it up, then it's...
I still think we should start some sort of like petition to get rid of that, by the way.
Yeah.
On Facebook.
The Isaac one, though. The Isaac Mouse.
No, you just has to be... You don't have to get into... You don't have to fight about your names. But she is the star, so...
Yeah, front man.
Yeah. So you got no... You're right, Carl?
I forgot what I was going to say now.
So's he, so don't worry about it.
No, you said you get more nervous when you do.
I think I find singing opera stuff easy because I've done it for so long.
Yeah, it's a second nature.
Yeah. So for example, I sang I sang in St Paul's Cathedral not long ago.
That's pretty notable.
Yeah.
In London?
Yeah, in London.
Wow.
Went down to London with a choir, but sounded more like a solo.
Sounded more like solo because you sang too loudly.
Well,
you know, like the point of choral work is to blend.
Yeah. But
it's not a badge of honour. You were the loudest. Like your director be like,
screw this, I'm having this.
Oh, shut.
Yeah, I've got to beat my dad as well.
But yeah, I think it's just because I've done it for longer, so I find it easier to get up there and sing.
Especially when you're doing your own songs as well. Like if you're doing like arranged stuff or covers or whatever, it's one thing. But when you start doing your own stuff, you're like, oh my god, these are my songs. Like
it's like it's a piece of your heart, and then you're singing it to everybody. And if they don't like it, then you're like.
One thing you've definitely improved on over the last couple of years from by watching you, maybe back at the Crescent open mic on the Ant. Seeing you like recently, last couple of months, is that like, your stage performance has got way better. Like you've got way more, you got way more confident in that, which is cool.
I think
is that something you like actually like done? Have you decided to do that, or was it just kind of come naturally? Or you actually made a conscious decision?
Well, I think two things. I think it's come from experience.
Yeah.
But also watching other people on stage and then like mentally noting down how they go about with their stage presence.
Yeah.
And also mic technique.
Is the whole thing. Yeah, that's a whole thing. But no, it is good to. It's really good to see. I guess also as you get older as well, I think it's easier, more confident when you get older as well.
I've learned to smile on stage now. Well,
have you?
I have. Yeah,
I've literally never seen you smile on stage.
Yeah. I'm
Was
learning.
that one of your little tricks then?
Yeah, no, I'm learning because when I concentrate, I just head down, face like that, and just not.
You got to look a little bit like you're enjoying it.
Like,
that's even like
you say every time,
even if you are, but you don't look like it, you still gotta make it look like you are. You know? Because like Dodgy for a long time, he used to shut his eyes all the time, and
could barely look anybody in the eye, like out in the audience. When I used to sing, I used to eyes shut all the time, and then every picture that we ever looked at, I was just, the eyes shut again. Oh. And then it was Katrina that said to me, you need to work on trying to open your eyes. So then I started off just picking a spot at the back of the room, just so I could keep my eyes open. And now I'll scope out the crowd. You know, if somebody's like really staring at me, I'll stare at them back and see how long it is before I see who breaks first.
Yeah, and that's one thing I noticed when I saw you last at the Final Whistles. That like I was looking at you the whole time, and you were, like your eyes were looking at the audience the whole time, you know.
Yeah, that's something that I've improved on. I remember at the start, I wouldn't close my eyes like you, but I would like look in a random place, and then I remember it was Marcus, my dad.
Have you ever called it that?
What?
Is that the first time you've ever like actually given his real name?
But my dad said,
Mark. Now you're famous, you know. Marcus.
Yeah.
My dad said one way to start is if you look at the top of someone's head.
Top of someone's head,
yeah. And then you just wear it down to your eyes, and now it just comes natural. Making eye contact with people.
Yeah. It's not an easy thing to do, especially, but it's again, it's one of those. Like, I find it the more like personal the song, the harder it becomes because you're like, god damn it, they're gonna be able to
if you've got the whole
read
room
me
focused on you as well. You know, it's
also I do like that. I like making people look away as well. Like if you look at them too long, they're like.
So you get yourself in a little competition with them, don't you? To see who breaks first.
Yeah, amazing stuff. So, what was that we just covered?
I don't know, but I've just noticed this. Have you ever heard of the narrowboat sessions? You guys would be ace on there, right? So it's a guy who goes on a narrowboat. It's called Marcus, and he goes shout out to Marcus narrowboat sessions. So if you search, or Mark.
Is it?
So if you search narrowboat sessions on Facebook, they've got a ton of followers.
Right.
Yeah.
And basically, it travels up and down the west side in a canal boat, starting all the way from down south, and then he comes up to like North Wales. We went. Where did we go? Was it
near
Shropshire?
Wrexham? Wrexham kind of way.
Yeah. And basically, you make a little donation. I think it was about 30 quid, something like that. And then you get to play like 3 songs. And you play 3 songs, and he records it all, videos it all, and then he uploads them to Facebook. And you get the amount of engagement that you get from the post, and the fact that you get to go play on a narrowboat.
Yeah.
It's cool.
You know,
it's really
he's
cool.
got some absolute ancient recording stuff as well.
You and him honestly, you two, you'd have to keep an eye on it and try and shut him up.
Well, he gets
Honestly.
seasick on a car. So
Yeah,
he'd
but
be terrible in it.
You'd be fine because you'd be distracted by like all the old instruments from and all the old recording equipment from 95 years ago. You know, he still records on gramophone. Not quite gramophone, but in far off. You know what I mean?
Reel to reel.
Yeah. He wasn't like
MSR 16, brilliant reel to reel.
Well, it's basically got this mixer which is just modified over the years, and this mixer's from like the late 70s or something like that. He was telling us, and he's just modified it over the years. It's
he loves it. He loves talking about it.
It's a really cool experience. You don't go sailing when you do the
you docked. It's all right. You might be all right.
So you'll sit with him for like I don't know. We sat with him for about an hour, maybe in your case 3. But no.
Honestly, I feel like he could like.
You did get on really well, actually.
I feel like he could improve the flow of like people that went in there if he just didn't talk to them for quite so long.
Well, yeah, but
he did talk about his war stories for quite some time.
I
didn't feel it was necessary.
The thing is, though, you've got this 3-hour slot. So through the summer, he does 3 hours in the morning, 3 hours in an afternoon, and you get one of the slots. And like we were literally so well rehearsed. I think there was like one song. It took us about 3 or 4 takes. Yes, because of me. Yes, I can see you in the corner of my eye. And the other 2 were just like bang, straight off in one take. So we'd literally done the performance within of the 3 songs in half an hour.
Yeah.
But it was just really nice to go there.
It was nice.
Chat
it was really
to him,
cool.
and
it's really chill, really peaceful. Like just nice.
Yeah,
it was nice day in the
really
summer
nice
as well.
vibe. So if you ever feel like a little bit of a trip out one day in the summer, obviously you'd need to get booked in because there's certain slots. Just check it out. The narrowboat sessions. And you can get to buy a mug as well. I did the what is it? I did the narrowboat sessions and wasn't made to walk the plank. So yeah, it was a really good experience.
You said you record on Logic. What do you do that from home? Have you got a recording studio at home or a studio? You know what I mean?
Yeah, we've got 2. What do they call?
Well, the Yamaha speakers, aren't they, that go through? You've got an audio interface.
I've got audio interface, Scarlett audio interface.
Yeah.
I've got my Mac. I've got endless amount of cables.
Yeah. We cables.
I open a drawer and there's just more there.
I tell you what, one thing about cables is there's never enough cables because you always find to buy equipment that needs different cables. We've gone.
Yes.
So many cables. We just endless cables. That's cool. So do you record what you guys do?
Yeah.
Is that the plan?
Kind of. Yeah, sometimes. I mean, we need to pull our finger out and really start recording some more because it's that thing if you get musical ideas and then you put part of them down and then you come back and develop it, but then it gets left and then something else starts. Do I need to be close?
Oh yeah, maybe.
Right.
I don't know.
And
too late.
so I'm too comfortable. I'm not moving.
just mute him out.
Yeah. Just the odd hand movement.
Edit here.
Yeah. And so we do that, but you've got your
I'm
dance stuff and everything.
Obsessed with drum and bass.
Oh yeah.
Oh nice.
Dance
Oh man,
music.
you'll have to come around and do some dance music. We got loads of dance tunes we've done. Like, there's our second album, which is like a bit more weirder. Like, is all born out of me just dicking about making dance tunes and then nicking the beat and turning it into songs. But like, I've got like, God knows how many bits and pieces of like dance music.
I just love everything rhythmic.
I'm not really like a drum and bass fan as such, but like I used to be in minimal techno. No, he's more of a house dude. I used to be into like
funky vocal house.
I used to be into minimal techno when I was a raver back in the day. You know, like minimal techno is my thing. But like I like techno and like EDM kind of beats and stuff. I like everything though. I'm not like not bound by anything. I like everything.
No.
I think the beauty is there's no rules when it comes to music. I mean,
and dance music, it opens up
kind
the rules
of there
more,
is
you know?
in a certain way, but there's no rules as into what you can achieve and what you can do.
Like I've been working with a rapper recently doing some hip hop and like she's been using crazy instruments, it's like all orchestra stuff, and it's just like it doesn't have to be. You don't have to be bound by like a certain sound for like. Well, I love dance music because you can just do anything.
Yeah.
You know?
Do you produce that?
Yeah.
Wow.
We did both of our 2 albums. We did ourselves here in this studio, which I'll show you after upstairs. And I produce for. I'm doing a few people's like EPs and albums at the moment. But I got a shit ton of stuff of my own that I'm just producing. But like, I like finding people to work with. So like, I need singers. So I'm probably going to get you in at some point before I go away and get you to record some vocals for some like more housey type stuff. Like I like work with other people because I've just got like stuff I'm never going to use. I just endlessly in there. I spend all my day out there just like dicking about with stuff. So I've just got like ideas and then I kind of fit them together when I feel like something's working. But then when I meet someone, like like we did with Eve, and the way her voice, we had like 2 kind of more like trip hoppy, like Massive Attack sounding songs, and I like really love female vocals over that kind of song. I was like, and because she's got such a weird voice as well, so it's gonna work awesome with these songs. And I think one of them's a grime tune essentially, you know, like it's just grime. She's got like, she sings folk. They just the clash of the dirty grime beat and the bass with her voice just works so well.
So is your hard drive, Isaac, full of stuff that like bits and pieces here and there that you've come up with an idea, you've bound it down, and then all of a sudden you've just kind of like, I'll come back to that later. And then I've got another idea, and then you put that down. And
I'm really bad for that. I've got hundreds of started songs. I've about 3 that I'm like, oh, that's where you finish it. Yeah, but I just love it. I just love that. I love. He doesn't like it because it's in his office, so he just boof, all the time. And it's like he gets to like 10 o'clock at night. He's like, oh, turn that shit off.
How many songs have you got? Like, have you done any of your songs?
What, recorded?
Yeah.
Not many at all. We only did one like. Yeah.
Recorded, but they're not finished. They're kind of like you've put so many parts down. But then that's the basis for the song. But then there's all the things that you add in there.
Yeah, sure.
And none of that's really.
I mean, if you need any help, just send me the WAVs and I'll have a look at them for you, and we'll go through them. But like, my point is, are you planning on like releasing them just as you get them done, or are you going to stick them on an album, or what's the plan? Because I would consider not worrying about an album too much and just getting new music out as fast as you can, because it don't really matter anymore. Like, it's nice to put an album, like for us old school dudes, like you like albums. Like, it's kind of cool, but like it's not necessary. You don't need to do it. Like, there's no rule saying you have to do an album. Just get your music out there.
Easy. Yeah. I mean,
so easy to get them out there. It doesn't matter. Like, if you want to collect it at the end and go, oh, we're now going to put them together as an album, maybe leave a few out, and then you've got something extra for the album. But like, you don't need to do it that way. You know how you want.
Like all the streaming sites, it's mainly just for if you're wanting to get something out there. Don't. If you want to rely on it for to make a living, you got no chance. But that's why we our first 2 albums, they're all on Spotify. All the usual. But we're not out to make a living. We're just out to sort of like.
It'd be nice.
Here you go. It would be nice, but
diversified. But we still kind of living out.
But it's just nice to have that kind of wide audience and
for sure. But you're just getting out there, even like as a starting point, just to see people get to know what your music's like and like what you sound like is always good. Like, we put a few kind of B-sides out early on, just as they were like. But we're not like trained producers. We've just learned everything ourselves. So just gone from, neither of us trained musicians. I can't read music. Dods can't read music. We're not like your level or your style. We just do everything by ear. Like, I've got I was luckily born with a really good ear for music, so I can hear stuff. I'm just really quick with harmonies. Like, I can just do harmonies instantly. Like, I just have a brain for it. Like, it's not any skill.
It's annoying as shit.
It is annoying, but like, he's just.
I'm like there trying to work this out. I'm gonna go, and he's just like, I got it. No.
I just understand them. But like, so I can't really claim any superiority there. But
what's quite funny is he'll work out this harmony. He's like, oh, this is a really difficult harmony for you, and I'll nail it. And then he'll say, oh, this is a really easy harmony, and I find it really hard. It's like kind of like the opposite way with me for some reason. I don't know why.
But it's I can't remember why I was bigging myself up then.
Sorry.
There must have been a reason why I was making myself sound amazing.
Rudely.
Oh, because so we're all self-taught. But like, so the first ones we put out are not very good, and we've got better as we've gone on. And our second album that we just released is like way better produced than the first album. But we just stick it out there, and people kind of know it and listen to it, and that's good fun.
And don't be afraid to kind of like re-record stuff if you're not happy with it. That first album, we re-recorded it about 4 times. So as we getting better at stuff, we'd get to the end of the album and go, oh, right. Okay. There's the benchmark, and then you'd go back. So
a really good thing
then
is
obviously you do have to draw a line at some point.
I think that's going to be
okay. You can have the mic.
A really good thing about producing dance tunes is that it does help you learn the system better, because like you delve into stuff you wouldn't normally delve into. So like it is, I really enjoy doing, even if it's just bits of dance tunes. I like being able to produce stuff because it just gives me a better understanding of how to work Cubase, So this all like good practice. But like, I was going to ask was, when you record, are you recording it like individual parts? You record it as a live performance?
Individual parts.
Individual parts.
Yeah.
How do you guys find that?
I think it's a good way to record.
Yeah.
It's the best way to record for sure.
Yeah.
It's good as well because of just with Logic, for example, but you can do it with anything. You just do a click track.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
And you normally start with a guitar.
Yeah.
The bass, and then you program the drums.
Are you going to add, as a plan, to add other instruments, or are you going to keep it as you would sound live?
No, I think if you've got the technology and you've got stuff there, and we've got all the instruments, I think it's nice to enhance it with other things.
Agree, yes.
Just to see how. I mean, you have to be careful that you don't end up in like Def Leppard territory where you've got everything going on.
Yeah.
But the thing is that it's nice to, because there's one that we recorded where we've
Do you mean the recent one?
Yeah, where we've put a cello part underneath it, and it's actually from Spitfire Audio.
We got the BBC Orchestra.
It was free for certain.
We bought the whole one. It was great. Yeah, they're really good. We used a lot. Well, yeah, because we got the free one and then we wanted more. So we bought more, and then our second album is basically used. Most of any strings we use is from that pack.
It's really good.
It's really because it's the only one where it's it's not the only one, but it's the best one I found. It's actual.
It sounds realistic.
Well, it's actual. What do you call it? Samples. So rather than like a synth trying to create the sound of a violin, you actually get a real violin sound.
So we do things like that, but you don't want to go too far with it. So.
Well, we don't really agree with that. We go fucking nuts.
We do have a classically inspired piece on this second album of ours.
Yeah, strip pop,
which is literally just
violins and stuff.
It started off like we wrote it about 4 years ago on Cubase, very early days of Cubase, using like the plugins that came with Cubase itself. Then obviously we revamped it using this BBC
really
Symphony Orchestra, and all of a sudden it just went.
Are you layering up vocals? Are you doing harmonies?
Yeah, doing harmonies. Like for example,
so you got like a 3-part harmony all the way through most songs.
Not
really, all the way through, but certain
like
choruses.
Little bits that go in. Well, for example, like the most recent song that we recorded was last weekend, and it's called "Please Sir, Can You Spare Some Change," which is about homelessness. But it's got harmony. Surprise, surprise. It's got harmony on the same line each time in each verse.
Cool. So it doesn't harmonise the chorus.
Oh, right, okay.
It harmonises part of the verse.
Yeah. Cool.
Is this something you're going to be playing on centre stage this song?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll be at centre stage. Yeah.
Nice.
Happy days. Can't wait for that. It's a great night.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it. We haven't done one since December.
Oh.
The previous venue we were at, obviously we had to find a new venue.
Right.
And the final whistle came showed some interest, and we met with Ian and Beth, the two that sort of running the place.
Yeah.
And we did a podcast with Ian last the weekend on Saturday, and we didn't realise how, because you think the final whistle it's just like the football clubhouse, don't you?
Yeah.
But it's not. Well, it is and it isn't. Because they do so much for the community in terms of like helping the community and businesses and all that, and he's got quite a big vision.
He's a really nice lad.
And we're kind of like, all right, so we're absolutely buzzing. Much bigger stage area.
It's gonna be awesome.
So it's gonna be it's gonna be.
It's already
check out our brand new monitors.
Some really good.
Got working.
We've got some really good. We've got some really good acts on as well. You're soaking wet, Theo. Stop bothering people.
Don't touch his tail again.
You're soaking. It's been raining. Attack the cat again.
Well, he's definitely got some big plans because there was going to be
There was going to be a festival.
Wasn't
yeah,
there?
but they've cancelled.
They have cancelled it, but we're not allowed to talk.
You were on
we're not allowed to talk. We're not allowed to talk about it, though. Remember?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. What festival?
What festival? I don't know what you're talking about.
Allegedly.
Apparently, a festival's been cancelled. Allegedly been cancelled. No, it's definitely been cancelled. We're not allowed to talk about details. That's all.
I think that's something he wants to do at some point in the future.
Yeah, definitely.
We were just like, we'd love to get involved.
I think
or help out, or however.
I think next year we'll probably be involved, like running it and stuff. So
I think there's going to be quite a lot of like musical events other than kind of like open mic. I think Centre Stage, we didn't want it to be exclusively to one venue.
Yeah.
So we wanted to kind of like dot around a little bit. Obviously, circumstances have changed right now, so the plan is to sort of like we've got this one coming up, which we just can't wait. And then it's probably going to be a couple of months before the next one, which will probably be at the Whistle. We don't know yet, but Yeah, yours
Right.
is the first one for a while, and it's got loads of people interested. So
Good.
Come along, people. Right, let's wrap this up because we've been nearly an hour.
One final question.
I don't know. I was gonna change it slightly.
Oh,
Two
are you
final
mixing it
questions.
up?
Yeah, two
All
final
right.
questions then.
No, not too final. Just one final question.
Is it based on the huge?
It is. It's the usual question, but I'm gonna throw a curveball.
Is this
Go
the
for it.
island one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
However,
Oh,
I'm not.
yeah,
However,
listening,
I'm
haven't you?
listening.
however, I'm not gonna ask you individually. I'm gonna see if you can decide.
Oh, no.
So you get one person dead or alive in music between you. Off you go. Discuss. It's not a game of you can talk. You can talk out loud. Like I'm allowed to hear.
It's not like a
You haven't
quiz.
got. You haven't got either.
If it was me, I would say Mozart.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's a.
Oh,
there's
he
a
doesn't
few.
agree with Mozart.
No.
Oh,
No,
he's
no,
not having
because-
that.
He'd be
Because-
boring as well. You can
Hasn't
tell he'd be
got
boring.
taste.
No, well, he was-
Mozart
No, he
was
was such a
joking.
nutter.
Mozart was worse than Ozzy Osbourne.
No.
He was in
No,
his
he
day.
wasn't.
For his day.
Yeah, for his day, standards have got a bit of like
but-
he would look at me and he'd be like, "That dude's crazy." Like Mozart would be like, "That dude's mental." Like,
It's the environment that you're in. So the environment he was a nutter for the environment that he was living in. And
Oh,
if
yeah,
you
yeah,
brought,
yeah,
if you
yeah,
brought
yeah.
him towards today, he'd still be a nutter.
Yeah, I bet.
But
Yeah.
even further.
I feel like
Yeah.
there's more nutters now though, so like it'd be
Yeah.
more normalised, so he'd seem more normal.
Mm.
I don't know.
Right.
Well, I was thinking about it for individual, and I would say Jaco Pastorius. So
Well, we're not asking you individually. I'm
Yeah.
asking you for a unanimous.
Yeah.
I'm asking you for a unanimous decision.
Right, who do you think?
Burt Bacharach.
But Bacharach,
Yeah.
that's a
Um,
not a bad choice. It's better than
Good
Mozart.
harmonies, but
It'd be cool sat playing the piano with
apart
him.
from that,
yeah.
mm,
You see, there's a as in, yeah, Dad, right.
yeah.
Whatever.
I mean, I think I love him. I think he's well good, but
No.
I wouldn't choose him.
What
That's
about
fine.
Winehouse?
I mean, I love Amy, but
Should
I
be fun
don't
as
know.
well, right? You know what I mean?
yeah.
But you'd all be
Should be
smackheads by the end.
absolutely
Yeah. Shooting the eyeballs by the end of the
Yeah.
Right, gotta decide.
Did
Out
you
of
say?
places.
Yeah, straight to the eyeball. Yeah.
Yeah.
She was great though.
Yeah,
I've
she
got-
was
I've-
quite unique.
I don't know, because I wasn't prepared for.
I know. See, this is why I threw you a curveball.
Cause I was
No?
like, oh, I'm gonna get
You
him straight
decide,
away.
Lyd. You decide, Lyd.
Yeah. It's
It's your band.
Yeah.
You have to make the
Oh,
decision.
yeah, actually, I don't know why. I don't know who. Oh, I even bothered asking those two. To be
I
honest,
think
you should be up to
Mozart
you,
is
Lydia.
Mozart is the answer then, is it?
Yeah.
Mozart's the answer. That's a good answer.
Mozart.
Good answer.
Why?
Mozart?
For what reason?
I just feel like he'd be a good person to spend your days with. You know, lots of interesting ideas for music
Not for
and
music, yeah,
in
yeah.
general.
Reckon you just discussed the world with him and
Yeah.
yeah.
Have a drink with him.
Yeah.
Was he a drinker? I don't know. I don't know.
Oh god. Yeah.
Yeah, a heavy drinker.
Yeah.
And
That's why
they
he
all
died.
are, aren't they,
He
really?
died,
Bit of coconut water, as soon as you're on a
Yeah.
desert
Yeah,
island.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And you're only 15.
Yeah.
You can't be getting pissed yet.
Yeah.
Got a few minutes. Right, guys, thank you very much for coming.
Yes,
It's been awesome
thank
to meet you
so
all.
much.
Thank you
And
for having us.
Yeah.
we're gonna
Thank you.
do. We'll get set up for the song in a second, and then we'll put that with the podcast. But thank you very much.
yeah,
So,
we can't
tell
wait.
us, are you playing anywhere that we can check you out soon, other than Centre Stage?
We're going to try. There's a new open mic in Tad tomorrow.
Thursday.
Thursday. So we're going to
Yeah.
try that one. We did one over in Castleford,
Nice.
which was a really nice place.
I like
So
you're
we're
going out of different places. That's great.
Yeah, trying to get that. I mean, the thing with we do what we're making sure we're doing is doing one a week. So you're playing because it is that thing going back to learning your trade. There's no better way of learning than being stood on stage.
Yeah.
Because when things go wrong, or you need to sort something out, or you've had an argument, or somebody starts the wrong song or whatever, you find it out by doing it all the
100%,
time.
yeah, 100%.
So the idea with the development is just to kind of just keep doing that. But as you're getting more confident and
We
comfortable,
would like to get quite a lot more gigs.
yeah, just kind
Alright,
of
guys.
get out more, and see what happens. But
Book
Yes.
them. They're great.
Yeah.
If you come and see me Centre Stage, I'll tell you they're great.
fabulous.
But
March 26th,
well,
Sunday
I
afternoon.
have more stuff.
All right.
Go on.
Where can we find you? What where Facebook,
Right,
Instagram?
Facebook, yeah.
Facebook mainly.
Lydia
What are you
Bousfield
on
Trio.
Facebook? What's your Facebook?
Lydia Bousfield Trio.
We'll try and get that across the bottom of the screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Right, thank you very much, guys. We'll see you soon.
right,
Yeah,
thank
see
you.
it.